All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads. Welcome to the call. Good to see everybody hopping in here in the comments before we got started. So Steve, good to see you. Evelyn, of course, from Valencia, and Jason. And man, I'm telling you, I didn't even realize that the entire eastern half of the U.S. is going to be just absolutely crushed this weekend, it looks like. I got family in Florida and Detroit, in the Detroit area. And yeah, they're all talking about that weather y'all are getting. So please be safe this weekend. I hope all will be okay. What is GOTL Ohio? Where's that at? I'm not familiar with that one. Yeah, I know. Dallas gets hit sometimes, right? Raleigh. Damn. I looked at that weather map this morning and I was just like, what the? Are you kidding me? All right. But you know what? Perfect time to stay inside and get some work done. I'm telling you, right? Let's just make the best of what we got going on here. But again, stay safe, stay inside. Hopefully, get your blankets and your candles and your flashlights. Make sure you're dialed in with all that stuff. Jason says, "There, knocked on some wood for you." I put this landing page into the chat. This is, I think most of you have probably seen it by now. If you haven't, go ahead and take a look at it. This is actually a landing page from Listings to Leads. And it's talking about how Gwen got 3 listings, 2 buyers, and a pipeline in 7 weeks. And again, this is a landing page I created out of my Listings to Leads account. And I added a form field, a drop down so people can select what's their role. And then they're going to put in their name, the email that you want us to send the case study to, the broker you're with, get the case study now. And so here's the case study. You can just click right here. And there's Miss Beautiful Gwen Dorsey right there talking. So anyways, take a look at that landing page. If you need me to send it a little bit later, just go ahead and ask me for that. I am going to put, in fact, here's the autoresponder. I'll show you the autoresponder because again, this is all from my Listings to Leads account. And all right, so here's the autoresponder that came from the landing page. And you can download the report from here. So again, I can download the report and that just downloaded, or the case study, I should say. So there's that case study that just downloaded. And then I put in a free trial. And then I put the image to go to the blog post. All right. So a lot of good stuff right there. I was very happy with it. We've had hundreds of people downloading this case study. And I'm going to be sending out an email a little bit later to everybody about the live classes next week to hop on what Gwen is doing. All right. So Gwen is doing our expired training. She is doing our open house. She does open houses and she's on a lot of our open house calls. And then she is also taking advantage of our not new, but our database stuff. In fact, I'm going to give you that link as well because we just dropped a new one that you're going to want to get out. So I'm going to put this link into the chat. So again, click on this one as well. Look at it later. But there are text messages to send out to your seller leads. All right. And it's all related to the Davos update. All right. A lot of people may or may not know what's going on in Davos. Some of the stuff had been said before related to the housing market. And so what I've done here, and we got a few more things coming, which I'll mention. And this is actually one of the things that Gwen got a listing from sending these to her database. So these are, again, she said it was expired, open houses, and the emails and text messages from Listings to Leads, like the ones we're looking at right here. So this is for your seller leads. There's a link right here that goes to your, and you'll use yours, don't use mine, but we're going to use your presentation flip book. All right. Because the more we can get this in front of seller leads, the better. To find yours, this says click here to get yours. So you'll click here. It'll log into your account. And if you don't see, what you should see is the actual flip book. So if you land on it and it was showing like that other view, just click the button so that you see the flip book, and then you can just click copy URL or view right there. And that's the link we want to use in the text message. It's also going to be the same link that's going to be in the email as well. Let me close. We got a text message for your buyer leads. We've got a social media post for seller leads. So what you're going to do is click here, and all you have to do is just copy and paste. Oh, there we are. How funny. Let me go back to that. Social media post, Facebook. So just copy this. And again, change the link to the one that we were just looking at. Already got people using this. This is for the homeowners. So again, this is for seller leads. Call to action is get your custom 100-point home marketing plan. And we've got a Facebook post for the buyer leads here. And again, just copy the link or copy the text, right click, just like the other one, just right click, save image or copy image, and then get it up on Facebook. I'm linking to my price reduced landing page that's in in the landing page section in listings to leads. If you're doing a Facebook post in a group or business page, you might even think about doing the send message option, right? When you do a Facebook post, there are different options that you can use, and send messages is a great one as well. Maybe I'll show that a little bit later if somebody wants me to. I did an Instagram story. Check this out. This is really cool. Story for the buyers. But notice, get price reduced homes for sale now. And that's a link right from Instagram stories to my price reduced landing page. Absolutely. No, and that's free. And this is the kind of stuff that is just great because stories, you could literally do 2 to 3 stories a day and it would not be too much, right? Reels, posts, things like that might be a little bit different. But with the way the stories are, doing 2 to 3 a day is not a bad thing. So you can barely ever do too many stories on Instagram. To get your price reduced landing page. So again, this will link to your account to the landing page section. And for most of you, they're going to be on the second row. There's 3 versions of the price reduced landing page. I like the middle one. It's called select area. And if I just click on the view, boom, right there. Really easy way for you to find that landing page in your account. We are going to get to AI text follow-up and follow-up in general. I hope you all don't mind. Are you all okay with me showing you this? Because this is actually part of follow-up. All right. So actually, yeah, this is all part of follow-up. And again, right, generating leads is one thing. We got the AI text follow-up. We've got the email follow-up. And this stuff right here is stuff that you want to be using. So here are the emails. So emails for seller and buyer leads. So again, this is all related to the Davos, what President Trump was talking about there, how it relates to the home sellers and home buyers. So here I'm going to click. So log into listings to leads. I'll just log into my account. And if I scroll down, there's a section called database email blast right there. Boom. There's the January 22nd. Look for the dates because usually every week or two, we'll drop one of these marketing packs. So this is the one for sellers and homeowners. This is the one for home buyers. And to use either one of them, you're going to click. And you can send it from your CRM. You can send it from ours. You can edit it. I'm going to click on the preview. So I can edit it. I can preview it. This link right here will be for yours. So in the email, you don't need to change anything. And in the email, it will be live. So people can just click it. And now, when you send this out to your seller leads, what I would do is a few different times during the day and maybe once the next day is check my stats, see who opened and clicked the link in the email. And I might just call them up with a really quick phone call and just say something like, Hey, Christine, this is Scott. And I just wanted to let you know I sent out an email relating to some of the updates from Davos as it relates to homeowners and how they're going to be spending $200 billion on buying mortgage backed securities. And in hopes that's going to help keep the rates low, they're going to be restricting corporate buyers from going in and buying up properties. And they're also, what was the other thing they're doing? And it's all mentioned in the email, right? Oh yeah, 401k where there's going to be no penalty. And so this should bring in it's going to make it better for individual buyers, help keep rates down and give more options for down payment assistance. And it is so funny. I saw one of the major Facebook groups where somebody posted about the 401k stuff and all these agents were going in there going, you can already do that. You can already do that. Nothing's changed. And I'm telling you, don't let your don't let your blinders blind you. All right. It is changing. All right. They're talking about no penalty. There's a few other things that are going on with it. Try to educate yourself before you just dismiss things because you could lose an opportunity to have a great conversation with homeowners. All right. Leave politics out the door because here's the link. All right. Because so if I were to call these people up that click the link now, right? If they click the link and they're thinking about selling, that will come up and I can ask them, did you have a chance to look at the presentation? I would love your opinion. Does that make sense? All right. And the one for the buyers, great news from Davos for home buyers. This one will automatically link to your price reduced landing page. And it's got that graphic. If I click on preview, so again, I can send it through listings to leads. I can send it, right? That's going to link to the landing page automatically. Now, if you want to send it through, let's say Follow Up Boss or Lofty or Bold Trail, the easiest thing to do is just copy the whole thing, select all copy, and then just go to, I'll stimulate, like I'm going to Follow Up Boss, let's say. Or again, this could be Lofty, this could be anything. And I'll just go create literally, if you time me, it'll take me under a minute. And I might say update for home buyers from Davos. We're gonna look so smart, right? Following what's going on in Davos. Boom. Like, how hard was that? Right? There's a graph that'll be linked. I got my signature still from listings to let me look at that. Boom, boom. So get that out, get both of these out the door right after this call. Get the text messages out after this call. Get the stuff up onto social media when you have a chance. And the last two things here are short form video scripts. So these are where you are talking and we got another video. I'll show you here. I know my team is working on them right now, but I'll show you. Ooh, ooh, boom. All right. I'll show you real quickly here. And this will be in the media library. Let me bring it over. And hopefully probably by the time we're done with this call, let me just download it and then I'm going to pop it up over here. Oh, wow, that was nice. Oh, no, that's the image. I want the video. Sorry about that. 1 second. Here we go. The video, I'm going to download it and then I'll make an update in the mastermind group. Here we go. So this is not going to be the final version, but this was just like the first draft. I sent a few updates. And then we'll have one for the seller leads as well. All right. So I will drop this into, all right, everybody cool with this? You guys like this? All right. Because again, I'm telling you, I've had several people tell me they've got listings from this. And other people tell me that it's great engagement, right? They end up engaging with people off of these messages. So yes, get that out the door. So let's talk about follow-up. Just did a great call yesterday. It was our lender call, but we ended up talking about follow-up there. First of all, let me just mention as part of follow-up, in your profile, there is a tab called CRM integration. Because if you got a CRM that you want to use, let's make sure we get our leads where we want them. All right. Whether it is Bold Trail, Boomtown, Brivity, Lofty, Follow Up Boss, KW Command, Moxie Works, Realty Juggler, Real Geek, Sierra, Thanks IO, Top Producer, Wise Agent. And then we've also got something called API Nation, which also connects to all of these and more. We've got Zapier. So if you're go high level, you'd want to use, for example, Lead Connector. But then we got Google Sheets, we've got Gmail, we've got Slack and HubSpot and Zoho. So there's just tons and tons, and Salesforce. So tons of zaps. If your CRM is not listed here, so for example, I'm thinking maybe like what, like Realty Juggler maybe or something, or maybe then there's others as well, obviously, like Perfect Storm. All right. Before they went, whatever happened to Perfect Storm anyways? I didn't really ever quite understand that. I guess it was like a go high level thing, and then it just completely disappeared. I wasn't really too sure. But so we got Brivity is via API Nation. So activate on API Nation right there. But also you might be able to, and so if you're not listed, you don't have to use Zapier or API Nation. 95% of all CRMs have what is called, and if you want to write this down, if you need to, it's called a lead forwarding email address. It is not your normal email. It's going to look like an absolutely freakazoid email. It's going to be like numbers and letters at like brivity.com or realtyjuggler.com, right? So it's not going to be your normal Scott Pierce or Scott the Realtor at whatever. It's the lead forwarding email is, like I said, it's just a really weird looking email that you don't use for anything else except for this type of application. So that's first of all. All right. So get your leads to your CRM if you've got one. If you need help, if you ever need help with that, like if you got a question about this, get with our support team. That's what our support team is there for. They're there for a lot of things, but that's one of the things they're there for. All right. So let's talk. And I'm not going to get into this a lot because I did cover this in our Facebook ads call the other day. In fact, I'll have to put that in the mastermind group. I will. In fact, if you don't mind, give me a second and I will right now, because here's the deal. Think about when you're having a conversation with somebody, like you're in a listing presentation, you are in a buyer's consultation. Obviously, and we know this, if we can ask the right questions, then we're able to have a better conversation and better be able to meet the needs and provide value to the people that we are interacting with. We all know that, right? Good questions can bring good replies, good answers, which can bring good outcomes. And sometimes that can be bad in the sense of nothing happens, but then there you go. You didn't waste a lot of time, right? Because you found out ahead of time. More often than not, we're going to have things move forward because, again, we ask good questions to people coming through the pipeline. And the reason I mention this is because with our Facebook ads in particular, you can select from like over 20 to 25 different questions for both buyer ads and then a different 20 set of 20 to 25 questions for seller ads that will help with your follow-up. It'll literally help 2 to 3x your engagement from the leads. So in my mind, follow-up really starts before we even run an ad. Now, of course, follow-up can come from everywhere, right? E-flyers, a Facebook comment, right? So there's tons of different types of follow-up, but obviously Facebook ads are very popular. And when we spend money on a Facebook ad, we want to get the best return on that investment as possible. And so real quickly here, let me go and grab the Facebook. And I'm going to show you right now, but right here, I'm going to drop this into the mastermind group right here in front of you so you can see it. And then you can come and access this later. Here we go. So I'm going to put here, wow. I'm going to say follow up starts before I don't know why I keep capitalizing everything. The ad is even live. Ask the right questions and follow up becomes easier. Be more in the live we did this week. I'm going to put the link. So I go through and I even did like a custom list of homes for sale. I did like a lot of different types, not a ton, but I did like a number of different ads. But let me just show you an example here. In listings to leads, and this could be a listing, this could be a landing page, this could be a PDF guide, this could be for a cash offer, this could be for a pending or sold listing, like any type of Facebook ad. So what I'm going to show you right now, I'm just going to show you for a sold listing. So check this out. I got a sold listing. I'm going to click market listing, Facebook ads. So we brought Facebook into listings to leads. No need to go there. Average cost per seller lead for just sold was $10 this week. Absolutely. And that's pretty average, actually. It bounces between $8 to $12. And this week it was $10 on average per lead, per seller lead, with name, email, phone number, and 3 other questions. So check this out. So Folsom, right? And all of this is editable, right? I'm not going through this in this webinar. What I want to show you is under advanced options. So if I click advanced options, create new form right here, form questions. That's what I want to take a look at. Because again, good questions will get me good answers. And by good answers doesn't mean what I want to hear, right? But it means getting to the issue faster. So check this out. So somebody's going to click my Facebook ad for in this case, a just sold listing. So it just sold in Folsom. Another home just sold in Folsom. Because of this, local home values have changed. Click below to get your new home value, like whatever it is. Okay. So name, email, and phone number right here. But look at all these other questions down here. There's a ton, maybe not a ton, but there's a lot. And you can see I got, what is your time frame to sell? All right, that's turned on. We'll leave that on for the moment. Another question that's automatically turned on is, would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? That's automatically turned on. And I guess that's it, that are automatic. You can add up to 1 more, all right? And you can change, but my point is, in addition to name, email, and phone number, don't add more than 3 extra. So you'll see what I mean in a second. I'm gonna add, see how my 100 plus point home marketing plan works for your home. The reply options are gonna be yes, please, yes, and please customize for my home, not right now. This helped one of our clients get 2 listing appointments, and a listing was from this question on a just sold listing. Absolutely amazing. Now I can also actually rearrange. I can rearrange the order so you can see how these are all I can drag them around. So if I wanted to drag that up, now I can't put it before name and email. And now you can see here, see how my 100-point marketing plan, what's your time frame to sell? Would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? Create form, close advanced options, right? So I just click, again, it's advanced options, create new form, and then open up form questions. Any Facebook lead ad for listings, PDF guides, landing pages, right? Whatever. You got this option for all of them. So everybody, do you see how these questions, how strong that is? Like how powerful that can be for you? And if we go here, let's see if this one's got custom questions. So give me a yes or a no if you get that. If you get the concept of good questions helping follow up. Come on, let me know. All right, let's see how it looks here. So here, check this ad out. 694 Douglas Street in Folsom just sold. It was my buyer who bought this home. The problem is I've got 16 more buyers who want to buy a house in Folsom. Some have been looking for months. If you have a 3 to 4 bedroom home between 2,500 and 4,000 square feet, would you consider selling your home to one of my buyers? If so, what is your magic number to sell in the next 1 to 3 months? So people, all right, so that's the ad. People click the ad. Now, normally we're used to just name, email, and phone number, and that's it. And boom, now you're calling almost blind. Now, of course, they click the ad, you're going to reference the ad. But check this. What's your time frame to sell? Maybe I'm just thinking, whatever. Would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months? What is this doing? That is helping reinforce the ad, right? What was in the ad? Get your home's value and instant cash out. No, I don't know why there's 4 questions. I should not have done 4. You see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't you can try 4. I think that's going to be a lot and annoy. Let me change my words. Annoy some people. Get your home value. And I tell you, some people say yes to that. Like maybe 20% will say yes to that. See my 100-point home marketing plan. I'll say yes, please. And so whatever questions are in this lead form will be in your lead notification. So this is where we're getting into, obviously, now more of a kind of a traditional idea of lead follow-up. So when I get my lead notification, or I get my lead notification, you got a new lead. All right, I look at it. You got a new lead, and it says, the name, Scott Pierce, the email, Scott at Listings to Leads, the phone number is all right there, phenomenal. And then it's going to have whatever the 3 questions were that we included or were in the ad, like what we're looking at right here. So for example, in this case, it might say, what's your time frame to sell? Just thinking, okay, would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? Maybe. And then get your home value and instant cash offer. Let me know. How is that going to shape my follow-up? So I want you to be able to think this through so that when you're doing it, you can make educated and intelligent choices to shape your follow-up. Because now when I see that's what the lead selected for their replies, I'm going to call them back and I'm going to say, hey, Thomas, Scott Pierce here at XYZ Realty. And you clicked on the ad for the property that just sold in Folsom the other day. And I saw that you might be open to looking at an offer from one of my buyers. I got 16 more buyers, and they've been pre-qualified for months. We got the home sold at 694 Douglas, so that was great. But again, still got all these other buyers. What price would make you at least take a look at an offer? All right. And Thomas is going to say $17 million. And I'm going to be like, oh, that's great. Awesome. When do you have a couple of minutes for me to come over, take a quick look at the property and see if it is something that one of my buyers might pay $17 million for? I'm not going to argue with them. All right. I'm not going to get into you got to be insane. It's only worth $450,000. I just want to get over there. I want to go take a look at it. And then if he said yes, for example, at the home value and cash offer, then I would reference that as well. I might just say, in addition, I saw that you would like to look at cash offer options. Is this something that you're considering because something else is happening in your life? Are you moving? Are you downsizing? Or is there something going on that can help me with the different cash buyers in the area to help you get an offer from one of them? All right. So the idea is just, we want to make sure that we select the right questions, and then that we make sure that in the follow-up that we reference those, because that's going to help add more value to the whole process. Brian says, hey, Scott, when they fill out the form, does it send the automatic email? Yes. Where can I see that? The email will go to you. So you'll get an email, right? So in the email itself, it will say, right, again, name, email, phone number, question 1, reply 1, question 2, reply 2. In your account, it will show you, in fact, I'll bring it up here. So in your account, and this is an actual lead. So let me show you something. And then if I were to click continue in the ad right here, the next screen is name, email, and phone number. All right. So let me go ahead and close that. If I go to ads, I find the easiest way, is there an email they received? Yes. Yeah, there's always an email that people receive. I'll try to remember to show that here in a minute. All right. So you see here, there's like a one. Oops. Let me close that. Probably an agent, but whatever. I don't, this is live. It's going to be on YouTube. If I start showing personal information, then I'll get into trouble and the video will get taken off. But you see where it says one, and if you generate 5 leads, $14, which is insane. Like nobody, that's a seller lead, maybe. You just click on the number and that will take you to all the leads. All right. And then that might look something. So I'll see a list of all my leads. I click on a lead and name, first name, last name, the email, the phone number. Down here, you see where it says responses from lead ads. So here are the questions that were asked in my ad. So whatever the 2 to 3 questions that you had, they will be here. We're going to talk about the AI text follow-up, but this lead was qualified by the AI text. And so once it's qualified, it will automatically turn off. But as the agent, I can always come in and turn it off as well, which I will talk about in a minute. The lead is attached to a follow-up. So I can see here. So for example, they opened up the follow-up email, that great news from Davos. So she sent the email for the home buyers to all the buyer leads in our database. And I can see that he opened it. The buyer lead follow-up here is still activated. So they are still getting, right, the follow-up. Now, one of the things in here, there is a button. So again, I'm on the lead detail page for this lead. There is a button called More. We got to make this more obvious soon. But when I click More, there's a drop down. Search name on Google, search email on Google, search phone on Google. If you don't have a CRM that does that, some CRMs will do this automatically, some don't. But this is something I like to do when I look at a lead because I can confirm the phone number if I need to for whatever reason, find a home address for them a lot of the times, find out where they work, and so on and so forth. Searching name on Google, that's a little bit more hit or miss just because there's a lot of people, even if you were to search Scott Pierce on Google, there's a lot of different Scott Pierces. But if you were to search Scott at listings to leads on Google, now you're a little bit more likely to find me. And if you were to search my phone number on Google, then you're, again, much more likely to find me. Not everyone is going to be found, but I just like doing this. And it's great because, for example, my wife, who is a lender, and sometimes I'll do this for her. I'll manage her ads and her leads sometimes. And so I'll look them up like this. And there was one recently where the lead had a really good job, like a really good job. And so I put it in the notes, right? So note, you can add task, add a meeting information. You can send the email from right here. But I added a note with the link to her profile at her company website. And then I let her know, I said, hey, by the way, this person here works here and this is what they do. And here's a link to her profile. And I found that right here. And she had a great conversation with her. It really helped to really make that conversation a lot nicer. I got a conversation we're going to look at here in a second. But before I do, to customize it. So for the email, let's say it's a listing. If you go to listings, so a landing page will have an autoresponder right in the edit area. The PDF guides, I don't know if you can, because I think we use one in general, but check this out. So if I go to a listing, market listing, oh no, I'm sorry. Go to edit. There's view, that's the property website. There's edit. So edit. And this is part of follow-up too, and this is why, if you do them right, for a listing, doing a video ad for a listing, I don't know that I would do that necessarily. But so for example, in the follow-up, it could be absolutely golden because I want people to get to know me. The more they feel like they know me, when I call and I follow up with them, the more likely they are to actually engage with me. that make sense? So if I'm doing video and I do it right, then when I reach out to them, my engagement is definitely going to be a lot higher. All right, there, autoresponders. All right. So follow this home schedule. Contact me when you plan to buy. Listing landing page, listing lead ad. So I believe it's that one right there. So for the ad, this will be the autoresponder. There's a preview because we're using a lot of different tags. All right. So that's what the default autoresponder is going to look like. It'll be your signature, the image of the home. They can click to download. What is this? Oh, that's just the link to the property website. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Again, edit and autoresponder and listing lead ad. That really should say Facebook lead ad, but I think you get the idea. Now, I don't know. I don't think you could like embed video here. BombBomb, right? They had and even BombBomb, it's not video embed. It's just like video hosting or something, right? You know, what I would do is you'd probably put like, I think you can put a GIF here. I'm pretty sure if it was like a GIF or like an animated image would work here, I think. And then have that link to a dub or something like that. Is that what you're thinking? Yeah, you link it to YouTube. Yeah, that's fine. I'm new to what would you recommend I do if I feel a little lost? I've listened to the market, don't know where to start. Please. Yeah, I would. Yeah, definitely. Exactly. Dub. Yep. Yep. Perfect. Awesome. You got it. Yes. I would join our Monday call. Definitely. Cause that Vince does our Monday calls. He does like from square. It's like our onboarding. So every Monday we do an onboarding call, I believe, at leadgenwebinars.com. So yeah, that's definitely what I would do. Right. And on Tuesdays, I do the open house. And I'll show you the video on YouTube where all of that is at. Okay. So let's get back here real quickly. For the AI text follow-up, before I get to the AI text, let me show you our email. And you can take our emails. If I go to follow-up, these are really good. They're automatic. So I can literally, you see right here, you'll have 4 campaigns ready when you get here. I believe it's buyer English, seller English, buyer Spanish, seller Spanish. All right. So there's 4 campaigns. I think I'm correct. Let me see if I see the Spanish. Yeah, there's Spanish right here. Okay. They're all going to be off. All right. And normally, now when you go through the onboarding wizard, you actually have the option to turn them on. But so check this out. Seller lead follow-up is in the off position. I'm going to turn it on. And I'm going to get a pop-up here, I believe. So let that, boom, there we go. And when you first start, there'll be nothing here probably. The main thing you're going to want to look at is which email am I using, and send this campaign to all existing leads on this list. So if you've been with us a while, you may just say yes to that and make this campaign recurring. You want to say yes to that. So both the buyer and the seller, I would do this on for both and click save. The really cool thing about our emails, and again, you can take these and drop these into your own CRM. I don't care. That's totally fine. What is so good about these? And I have seen some of the craziest responses. So the first email is always going to be the autoresponder. So if I click an ad, I click a post, I fill out a lead form, there's always an autoresponder that's going to go out right then after day 1. So day 1 would be if the ad was filled out today, Friday, then on Saturday, after 1 day, on Saturday, this email will go out. And it says, subject line, working from home. Hi, Scott. Are you working from home more these days? Would a home office or work area be good for you? What I want you to note here is every other email is going to be super short, right? Either super short or on point with a simple reply. So what's on your neighborhood wish list? How close do you want to be to work? Look at that. Just like super, super short. See what's new in the area. All right. Would you like to get a list of price reduced homes for sale? So super short. And then the alternate email. So I said every other email is super short. The alternate emails are going to be offering a different PDF guide. So we're offering things of value. So the follow-ups, both the buyer and the seller are follow the same pattern where they alternate between super short, simple question or a PDF guide download. And the really cool thing about these is when I get the email from the follow-up and I click the image, it downloads the guide right there. There's no landing page, it just downloads the guide. And then it sends you a notification letting you know that Brian McKay just downloaded your guide, down payment assistance for local home buyers from the follow-up email. And then his name will be there. It'll be a link to his lead record and listings to lead. So I can go tap and go look at it. And it's phenomenal. All right. It's great. Great. We get really good feedback for our follow-up. Completely editable. I can edit the emails. I can edit the subject lines. I can move things around. I can edit the entire campaign. I can create new campaigns. I can duplicate the campaign. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff here. No, you cannot import as of now. Our emails have a pretty good rate of getting into the inbox. And that is because we do not allow people to import leads. Because what happens, someone is going to import a list. It's going to be all spam. And then it's going to ruin it for everybody else. So the best way to do this is to, for example, use our emails, right? So that email, for example, to your database for price reduced. And then when they fill out to get the list of price reduced homes for sale, well, now they are going to be in your follow-up. Okay. In fact, I wonder, all right, so yeah, let's talk about AI text follow-up. So if I go to listings, now if the AI text does it for listings, the home value, it's not for everything in listings, but it's for most things. AI text follow-up, right? So right here on the listings page, it's in a few other areas within the system. But if you click sign up for AI text follow-up, it's half off for the first 2 months. I'm gonna click next. It's it's like $1 a conversation. So not $1 a reply or $1 a text. It's $1 per lead. So as long as it takes, it'll stay with it. And you hit next, you're going to enter a credit card, and then you're going to hit next, and it literally takes 30 seconds. You're going to select the name of your AI agent and buyer leads, seller leads, or all. That's it. It's ridiculously easy. And I'll tell you one thing, there's a few things I like about it that I really didn't think of in the very beginning. One thing I like is I generate a lead. So here we're looking at an actual conversation. There's more to it, which I'll get to that in a second. And this is just one, whatever. I just found this one. I didn't search for a conversation. I just wanted to find one. The first cool thing I like is it's super easy. All right. I know people that have Go High Level that pay people hundreds of dollars to get that thing set up. And it can take a while, like days or even a week with just so it's done. Second thing is I know right away if it's a good phone number or not. So when the lead is generated, in the first notification, it's going to say something to the effect of an AI text conversation has been initiated. Or it's going to say an AI text conversation was not initiated. And if it says that, it'll tell me why. It's either going to be landline, which is cool. Oh, it's a landline. I'll try that. Or it is a bad phone number. So I know right away I don't have to call. I don't have to do anything. I know right away, do I have a good phone number or not? All right. So that's first thing. Now, the AI text will engage like almost instantaneously, like within 10 to 15 seconds. You still want to follow up, but the beautiful thing is you don't have to follow up right away. You should still definitely time block every day, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, whatever it's going to be that's appropriate. You still want to follow up, but the AI text is going to follow up for, I think, like over 6 months. Like for over 6 months, it's going to be following up. One of my clients, John Summers, one of his videos is up on our website. He had an open house. The open house lead comes in, AI text follows up. And what's really cool is every time the lead responds, you're going to get an email. And the email is almost going to look exactly like this. So the first email would have looked like this. Hey, you got a new lead response. And then my email is going to literally say that, and then this right here. All right. And then from my email, half the time I just like, all right, cool. They're in conversation. Great. And then, oh, I want to drag that back down. Can I drag that down? There we go. And then the next comment, he says, how do I qualify? Boom, I get another email. This guy now he says, how do I qualify? Okay, great. Again, I don't need to, maybe next time I go ahead and call him, what I might say is something to the effect of, hey, my assistant, my AI assistant, Alex, or whatever, has been texting you. And I saw that you mentioned you're asking, how do you qualify, right? Whatever in relation to the ad, right? How to qualify. So again, I'm able to refer back to and leverage the AI conversation in myself trying to get a hold of them. Okay. If I wanted to, or I could just let that keep running. And then he said, I'd be happy to send you, not happy over team to system file, whatever you can send me that may be of interest. Great. And I think that was related to the listings question on the previous screen. So I just send some listings relative to the ad that he came in on. Make sense? So yeah, so the system will automatically, as soon as it's qualified like that, it will, oh, I've already got it here. It will automatically turn it off and then let you know, hey, because it's either going to be, they're going to request some information, which it'll qualify at that point and turn it off, or it will actually try to, oftentimes, in fact, on that one, I didn't even realize it. A lot of times it's going to actually come back and say, when would be a good time to talk? And it's going to try to get something to the effect of tomorrow afternoon or Monday at 3 or something like that from the person. That way, instead of just letting you know, hey, he wants more information on a list of homes for sale, it'll say he wants that plus Monday at 3 o'clock would be a good time to call him. All right. But regardless, again, I don't know why in that one it didn't do that. Normally it does. All right. Any questions? We're almost at the end of it. So again, we got the follow up via the marketing packs that we come out with every week or two. All right. Please don't forget about those. Are so powerful. We got the email follow up, which is completely automated and it goes on pretty much forever. We've got the AI text follow up, which is awesome. And I highly recommend it if you don't have it with your current CRM. And then we can then we can also automate the leads going to your CRM. Can AI text follow up later scheduled? No. What do you mean? I don't, it will not follow up after between like 10 and 6, I think, something like that. So if a lead comes in after hours, it will not initiate the follow up. So if the lead comes in at 3 in the morning, it is not going to send a response back right away. And I know there's some kind of pros and cons with that, but I also think that there are some laws in certain areas around that as well. In fact, I think for some reason in Texas, there's a law, like you can't be sending automated text messages after hours. I might be wrong on that, but for some reason, I think that is the law in Texas. Christine, yes, 2 p.m. Eastern on Mondays is 2 p.m. every day is the webinar time, 11 a.m. for the stand up. For our expired calls, those are, in fact, let me bring that up. Those are at 7 a.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Pacific, Monday and Wednesdays. And let me see. Right there. I'll put this link into the chat. Oh, no, it won't do anything like that. No. Is there any others? Christine, what do you mean? Is there any other what? Leadgenwebinars.com. This is our standard, like you can see every day at 2 p.m. Eastern. Now I'll tell you next week, new construction, that's going to be a good one. We got the expired. So, every Tuesday and Wednesday, we do the expired Zoom calls. And then like once every couple of weeks or once a month, we do a regular just webinar about expireds, which is always pretty good. We got the open houses on Tuesday. We've got so I guess on Monday it's not the onboarding, but it's top tools to get listings. But yeah, if you join us, if you want to learn how to market a listing, in fact, I will also give you in fact, let me show you. In Listing to Leads, go to marketing calendar for our YouTube, Instagram, mastermind group, right? Whatever, marketing calendar, resources, and then YouTube, Instagram, mastermind group. We have a few other things that were down there as well. On our YouTube channel, you could look at playlist or you could go to live. And so all the live recordings are here and the ones coming up are here. So I'm sure there's an onboarding call here recently. Onboarding right there from 2 weeks ago. Yeah, there's probably one right there 3 days ago. So here's an onboarding call from 3 days ago. This would be a great video to watch if you are new to the program, if you're a little bit lost or whatever. That's a great webinar to watch. Yeah. You give so much value. Oh, thank you, Christine. I appreciate that. Christine, where do you even live? I don't even know where you live. I love your videos. I see your videos all the time on Facebook, the shorts that you do. So I know you know us from, or I think you know us from Carrie. Oh, wow. Ooh, wow. Okay. And I say that just because of the storm coming in. Man, yeah, stay warm. My gosh. California, the worst we get where I live is rain. So we get these pineapple expresses that come through where it'll rain for like sometimes 3 days, where it's like moderate and then just slamming for an hour. And we had our pool flooded a couple of weeks ago, but that's kind of the worst of it that we get. Our temperatures vary between the coldest it's ever gotten where I live is probably maybe 33, 34 degrees. And then, but in the summer, there'll be a few days it'll go up to like 110, 115, but it's a dry heat. It is way more comfortable than being on the East Coast where you've got 95, 90 degrees in humidity. That's just insanity. Yeah. Yeah. 12 to 18. Stock up. Get your hot cocoa. All right. Get your hot cocoa. Get your Jameson. Whatever you need. All right. Anybody else? Jason says, what? Dude, what do you mean? What storm? Holy cow. Let's see here. If I go to, I don't even know what, weather.com. You haven't seen this? Look at this. It's like crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a storm covering as much of the United States as I've seen with this one. Oh, I got ads. But anyway, yeah, if you don't know what storm people are referring to, definitely go check it out because it's supposed to be like one of the biggest ever from what I hear. Yeah, look at this. All the way from essentially the Rocky Mountains, like the entire eastern half of the country Michigan got it. And that's not true because I know in Michigan, they're freezing as well. I got family in Detroit. Yeah. That's the thing about Dallas. It's like, I always think of like Dallas as being hot, but I guess that's more Houston. But yeah, northern Texas is just insanity. The one time I was going through Dallas on a road trip, and aside from the pineapple expresses we get here, I had not seen rain that hard as it was in Dallas the time I was there. in a long time. That was just torrential. That was nasty. All right. Anything else? Get yourself over to Trader Joe's for sure. Yeah. And then get a good book, get into the mastermind group, prepare for next week. All right. We good? Thank you everybody for joining me. Love having you as always. Again, get with support if you need to. Get into the mastermind group if needed. And if you got anything else, just let us know. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Thanks everybody. Have a wonderful weekend and we'll see you next week.